ton of agents with a ton of questions, and we're excited about the partnership. And so we kind of wanted to have this session where we can answer as many questions as possible and start the dialogue around the partnership with Commissions Inc. and make sure you guys felt supported and we're getting the answers that you guys wanted. And so before we get started, and we've got a list of questions that people have been emailing into CINC questions at eXp Realty. And again, if there's something that you want answered that you haven't emailed in yet, do so and we'll try and add it. The goal of, I think, this session is to really get those questions answered, and then also just kind of start the dialogue. And so kind of start us off, I want to tell maybe a short story about how I started here at eXp Realty. And for those of you who don't know, I've actually been with eXp since 2011, a real estate agent, and was introduced to eXp Realty because of some of the marketing I was doing, right? And so I was doing WordPress and search engine optimization, but I was kind of the lone wolf in my office, kind of spearheading that, right? And so they called me the quote unquote real estate whiz kid, but really I was just kind of Googling for the best information. And someone said, you know what, you got to meet these guys at eXp Realty. And so I met Glenn Sanford and Gabe and Kirk, and what they were able to do and what they were providing their agents was amazing, right? It was innovative, and they were able to deliver to their agents a product and that I wasn't able to find anywhere else, right? And so I was blown away kind of by their knowledge and by their willingness to share, and then also by the tools that they were able to provide their agents to kind of help get agents where they felt they needed to be competitive in kind of an ever-changing landscape. And so that was in 2011, and obviously eXp Realty has grown a ton since, but the need to kind of be innovative and the need to deliver innovation to our agents has never changed, right? And so over the years, again, internet lead generation and how we market and promote our business always continues to move and adjust and adapt. And as a company, as eXp Realty, we kind of always have to find new ways to deliver innovation to our agents, right? And so changes, the marketing landscape changes, as the real estate landscape changes, as the industry changes, eXp Realty kind of also has to somewhat change and adapt. And eXp Realty, again, is always looking for new tools and new education and new ways that we can make our agents, give our agents kind of a competitive advantage. And so we believe that this Commissions Inc. partnership is absolutely in that line. And so again, excited to discuss it here today. Obviously, October of 2016, we released a press release, and we have partnered with Commissions Inc. and are working to roll out an enterprise solution to all of our agents here at the end of the month. And it's something we're excited about. So one of the things I've learned from just kind of being around, so I was joined as an agent in 2011, but joined as an employee a couple years ago to kind of help train and work with agents and kind of bridge some of this gap between technology and real estate. And one of the things I've learned from Glenn is, and here is, innovation is all about kind of not being scared to take action, but then also making sure we get a ton of feedback, right? And it's kind of a repetition of those two things. Let's not be scared to take action, and let's get a ton of feedback. And again, we're excited about this partnership, but a big thing, Commissions Inc. and Powered by CINC rollout is we are looking for feedback, right? And so the thought process since kind of the initiation was, let's roll out the basics of the platform to everybody and let's see what it can do. and let's get a bunch of feedback, and let's figure out from there how we continue to provide great tools and better tools. And that doesn't necessarily mean other tools that we offer are going away, but happy to kind of talk about some of the features and what's there and what's not there. And do understand that we are working to build this platform currently, right? And so some of the questions I know I've seen have come across the email and the Facebook private group. Some of the questions, the answer is no, right? Some of the questions, the answer is, no, the new platform won't be able to do X, Y, and Z. Some of it is not quite yet, but we're working on it, right? And some of it is because we are building the platform, and that sounds strange to people because we're rolling it out here very shortly. But until you kind of, when you take on a something of this scale, until you roll it out, you don't quite know how it's going to work or how it's all going to kind of communicate together. And so, and then there's going to be a lot of things that people say, is the platform do X, Y, and Z? And the question, it does it really, really, really well. And so, excited for this forum. We've got some questions lined up. I would encourage you guys, again, to continue this dialogue here, and don't be afraid to ask questions, and we'll provide answers. But then also, don't be afraid to make suggestions. I mean, if something that pretty useful for your business that you'd like to see, and you see an opportunity with a partnership like Commissions Inc., I think we're open to hearing that and figuring out how we can ultimately build this tool to be something great for our agents, and have it be a value add as opposed to anything else. And so, Russ, I hope that's an all right intro. I didn't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
Jeffrey, that's spot on. Thank you for doing a great introduction on the philosophy of why we made the partnership with CINC. I'm actually, and I apologize because I'm at an airport right now, returning home from the Inman Connect conference in New York, and so I'm going to be off enough to listen to people boarding airplanes. But I do want to sort of emphasize a couple of points. One. I had some great conversations here. If anybody's ever been to the Inman Conference or know of the Inman Conference, it really is a forward-thinking grouping of people at the highest levels, but also at the ground troop levels of real estate, very technology forward. And I will tell you that in all the discussions I had, there was never once a statement that lead generation is static and is going to be the same today as it will be 6 months or a year or 2 years from now. We are in a dynamic technology environment, and we think as EXP being a leader, a technology powered brokerage company, we need to be a leader in that, and be looking at the most progressive companies, but also being in a scenario where we're not just being vended a piece of technology, but we're partnering. And truly, the word partner is not just a marketing word. It truly is a relationship. I met with the chief operating officer of CINC while I was here in New York, and a great discussion. And we look forward to building a partnership with CINC and delivering great tools as this landscape of lead generation and CRM and technology moves forward. And we think that's really essential to every relationship we have on the technology side. And then further supporting Jeff's comment about your feedback. We want it, we need it, because we are in a dynamic environment. Things are going to change. The platform that is rolled out here shortly from CINC is not going to be that exists a year from now. I guarantee it. And we need your help in morphing it to a way that meets your needs. I would underscore that a bit, that we all maybe saw some of the comments on the Facebook private group, and here's the challenge. I mean, we love the Facebook private group. It's a great place for sharing ideas and comments and constructive feedback. The challenge sometimes is when people post things that either aren't quite accurate or are rumors or whatever it might be, and that creates a life of its own and actually becomes counterproductive. So all I would say is continue to give us great feedback. But if you don't really know what's going on, I would say that Jeffrey Bittner is the source of truth regarding sync. I'm sure I certainly back up Jeff on this, and others do as well. But he's in the trenches, and if you've got questions about what you're hearing from some person or channel or whatever, or if you're hearing something that just sounds too good to be true, very well might be too good to be true, and come to Jeffrey and get information before we post things as fact on the Facebook group, because that can quickly lead us down a rabbit hole that is difficult to crawl out of. So, Jeffrey, how do we want to go to the questions right away?
Yeah, I don't think that's bad, and I know we've got some good ones lined up, and ones that kind of have been talked about, and so I think maybe that's a good spot to start, and then we can kind of go from there.
Perfect. All right. So the first question was, is our agents going to get CINC Pro, and is conversion, two kind of a twofold question. Are agents going to get CINC Pro? Let me just answer that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you take a look at our FAQ, agents will not be getting the CINC Pro platform. And I know that it's been a question on someone's mind. Again, we came to an agreement with Commissions Inc. last year to kind of build an enterprise platform. And we think the enterprise platform is going to be great, and it's going to be powerful, and it's going to do a ton of what our agents needed to do in terms of generating leads and providing great follow-up. But the CINC Pro platform is specifically built for teams, right? It's specifically built for team follow-up and lead routing and things of that nature. And when we look at kind of enterprise solution, something to an agent base as large as ours, right? It's not as simple as just providing a single tool to get kind of big long-term solutions. And so, again, what we're delivering here at the end of the month will not be the CINC Pro platform. There'll definitely be some differences. If you're currently a CINC Pro user, we encourage you. We've got a contact over there that can talk to you about some of the differences, and if there might be a good switch if you're using some of the lead routing functionality and you're using some of the agent accountability functionality that's built into the CINC Pro platform. Our platform will not have it. Now the benefit is, by being an eXp Realty agent, you will most likely just flat out get a discount with your current CINC Pro package. They've given us preferred pricing, kind of in lieu of this, in honor of this partnership. And so we've talked to a lot of CINC Pro users who are basically, just for being an eXp Realty agent, are going to get something like $100 off a month of their current setup. And so we're excited about that, and we're excited to kind of work with CINC and be able to offer those. Ideally, at some point, we build everyone's business up to the point where they turn into CINC Pro users, right? They've got teams of people, and but it's the enterprise solution that we're delivering is not the CINC Pro platform.
Great, thanks, Jeff. So the next question is a sort of a corollary that everybody is asking: is conversion going away?
Another great question. And so, we know where maybe some of this confusion or some of these rumors kind of started in the FAQ surrounding commission. Conversion was going to be a hot topic, and so we put some very specific language in there, and we talked about conversion being made available to all of our agents for free until summer of 2017, June of 2017, and that is in any way, shape, or form that anyone's made any decisions to get rid of conversion. right now our agreement with Conversion is through June of 2017, and essentially we don't want to make any decisions on until we come to a new agreement with Conversion or whatever that looks like. We don't want to make any promises or assumptions either way, right? And so the plan for us is to roll out this Commissions Inc. platform. Again, get a ton of feedback from agents on what they like about it, what they don't like about it. You know, how does it work for their business compared to other tools that they're using, and kind of make a decision and work with Conversion following some of that feedback. And Russ, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've just to underscore what you said, we've made zero determination that conversion is going away. By launching CINC while conversion's in place, we have a chance to run both platforms, to get feedback from our agents about various benefits of both platforms, and it very well may be that we retain a relationship with both conversion and CINC, you know, long term. We haven't made that determination. All we've said is, and we know that you know, you all want some certainty looking forward, and we want to give it to you. So what we've said is, it will be free until June of 2017. We've got a window of about 6 months here to work simultaneous paths with two great companies, and we need your feedback as we move forward. So if you, again, in talking with other agents, I guess I'm sorry, I'm at an airport, so I apologize for the background noise. But in talking with other agents, if they tell you that they've heard that conversion is going away, what you can do to help is tell them that's not true. And we won't make that decision until sometime later this year, and you will be the first ones to know as we go through that process. So just underscoring that great comment, Jeff.
And just to kind of further that, we have a lot of agents that absolutely love Conversion, right? I think Conversion is an amazing tool. I've taught probably hundreds of hours of classes Conversion, right? What we do know is we know that Conversion doesn't work for 100% of our agents with the way they want to run their business, right? And so we think the Commissions Inc. Marketing platform fills some of those gaps. But again, what we're looking for is a ton of feedback. One thing I love about eXp Realty, and I love about this leadership team, is they don't make any assumptions, right? And the reality of the situation is we don't know what we don't know, right? And so we've heard, again, a ton of positive feedback from in regards to a lot of our tools. We've heard some negative feedback in regards to some of our tools, and we have a lot of agents that use what they use, and they're not vocal about it at all. And so I think the plan here again is to roll out Commissions Inc. and get a ton of feedback, and it's kind of our next question, Rasmus. I hope you don't mind jumping in there. It's what gaps does Commissions Inc. potentially fill? Unless you have anything else to add to that, what I was referring to with conversion.
So next question that we got was, will agents be able to buy buyer and seller leads from CINC, and if so, at what cost?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we'll make sure we address all this stuff, guys. And so currently, and again, there's some confusion around Commissions Inc. CINC Pro users have an advertising package built into their monthly cost, right? And so some of the questions were surrounding, and we're getting is Commissions Inc. going to be providing advertising for our agents? And at this point, they will not. Their advertising and their advertising program is specifically a value add for their CINC Pro users and users who have their agent. What I can guarantee you is we will continue to do what we've always done in regards to paid advertising, and that is we're going to provide a ton of great education. We're going to teach a handful of classes every single year around Facebook ads and Twitter ads and Google AdWords for the agents that want to do it themselves. For agents who have specific questions on some of that stuff, I run our Making It Rain program, and I'm happy to answer anything that I can and kind of help you guide you down the right path if you want to kind of navigate the waters of running your own advertising. The other thing we're going to continue to do is we're going to continue to provide other solutions for you if you want to just be to have the advertising done. And so we have the Making It Rain program, and right now the Making It Rain program encapsulates, using Google AdWords to generate buyer leads. We're working on rolling out some other programs with Facebook and with some seller leads. And then the other thing, above and beyond the Making It Rain program is, we're always constantly looking at, are there other third-party vendors we can bring in to benefit you guys or to provide some kind of preferential package, teach a class, and so you guys can utilize their tools for the benefit of your own business. And so, I've got meetings in the next couple weeks with companies that do Facebook advertising and with companies that provide software around Google AdWords and things of that nature. And so again, we're going to try and provide a ton of great education. We're going to try and provide a ton of third-party options for you guys, including but not necessarily limited to the Making It Rain program. And we hope that kind of fills your need for kind of paid advertising. It looks like maybe Russ got kicked there, and so I'm just going to jump to the next question. And so the next question was, what are some of the features that the Powered by CINC conversion is not, right? So what are some of the gaps that this new platform is going to fill that conversion currently doesn't quite do for our agents? And that's a great question. And so first and foremost, from the agent side, kind of the agent perspective, the Commissions Inc. and Powered by CINC platform is going to have some additional branding aspects that we know our agents have been calling for quite some time. And so the agents are going to be able to do things like change the hero image on their site, change the title tag, right? You're not going to be kind of pigeonholed into a buy an Arizona home tagline. You're going to be able to change and tailor that to your own market. We're working with Commissions Inc. right now, where agents will actually have some additional functionality to build out their homepage. And there are traditional things with this platform, like do an agent bio and upload a photo, but we're working with Commissions Inc. to actually roll out some additional kind of homepage functionality where if you want to talk about your buyer services or your seller services, you're going to be a box where you can go in and drop that paragraph or upload that photo. And so there's some very specific things kind of from the agent customization side of things that we're working with Commissions Inc. on. And so that's kind of one gap that we're excited about. The other thing is Commissions Inc. is going to be able to pull in MLS feeds from more than one MLS. And so one of the things we realized really quickly is we've got a lot of agents who are multi-talented, right? And work multiple areas. And we've got a lot of agents who are part of more than one MLS, right? Maybe the state has more than one MLS, state lines, whatever that looks like. And so one of the things that we really are excited about is agents are going to be able to pull in more than one MLS feed into their site. And so it's no longer if you have more than one MLS or access to more than one MLS, so you're going to have more than one site. You're going to be able to pull it all in with the same front end, same consumer experience. And we think that's going to be better for you as the agent, but it's also going to be better for your consumer, right? We've got some agents at the company that have their consumers accessing two different sites. And that's just not, probably not best for you, and it's not best for the company. A few other things, that we're really excited about. The way that our agent sites tie into and will tie into exprealty.com going to be really unique. And so one of the things that we've continued to focus on is not only the agent experience, but also the consumer experience. Whether it's a consumer that you already have a relationship with, but it might also just be a consumer that sees eXp Realty on a sign, does a search online, and stumbles across eXp Realty's website. And so we're dedicated to delivering an amazing consumer experience just from exprealty.com. And the goal is to essentially generate leads from exprealty.com and disperse those to our agents for free. And so we're really excited about that feature. And some of that happens currently with the way our current exprealty.com site is set up, but it's not always fluid, and it's also not always the best benefit for our consumer, right? Because the way it's set up, it kind of just gets routed based on MLS. With our new setup, agents are going to be able to define areas that they work. And so we're actually going to be able to, if a consumer comes in from exprealty.com and they do a search about a particular city, right, we're going to be able to match them up, and they register as a lead. We're going to be able to match them up with an agent that works and services that city, right? And so we're able to kind of, in my opinion, deliver a better consumer experience. And I think we're also going to kind of, the trust that we have from by delivering a better consumer experience. Russ, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's a great point, Jeffrey. Some of you know that I used to be at Realtor.com, and we had significant what we would call lead breakage. In other words, consumers would call, would respond to a lead form on Realtor.com, want information about a property, and either that lead was sent to somebody that had no idea how to help that person, or more unfortunately would never be replied to. And that creates a really horrible consumer experience, and it doesn't relate in any way to the lead being matured into a closing. So we have to think of how, we want you to close more transactions through internet lead generation. That is the whole goal of whether it's conversion, CINC, or brand X. It's about getting people who are interested in buying or selling homes to you, or to an agent that can help them, responding very quickly and converting them to a sale. We all benefit that way. And so, this again is an ongoing process, and there is a real consumer element to this whole process that we're focused on, and that we think will translate into more sales for you all.
Absolutely. Excellent. And to kind of touch on maybe a couple more things, the way we are kind of building this network and the way this enterprise solution is being delivered to our agents, we're going to be able to do some really unique things kind of as a network, and we're still kind of working on what exactly this looks like, but we're going to be able to do some unique things to kind of leverage the listings we have as a company, the listings we have in certain market company. We're going to be able to leverage kind of our joint brain power in terms of drip campaigns and follow-up plans. And so we're really excited about that. And one of the other things someone mentioned about the CRM with Commissions Inc. is, in my opinion, built very, very well to help you with your follow-up process, with your entire business. And so what I mean by that is the CRM that's coming with this platform is going to be able to work buyers, it's going to be able to work sellers, and you're also going to be able to put recruit leads in there. Things like the drip campaigns and the follow-up plans, the pipelines that are accessible are really unique, and you can get really, really in depth with it. And I'm excited to see what some of our agents do with it. I mean, you can have drip campaigns automatically turn on and off depending on where a lead is in the pipeline. So if you move a lead from a in contact pipeline stage to a sold pipeline stage, they can automatically be switched with the drip campaigns they're receiving. And those drip campaigns encompass emails and text messages, and they also follow-up plans. You can actually assign yourself tasks. So our agents are going to be able to create plans for themselves and say, hey, when we have a lead, not only do I want this email to go out and I want this text message to go out, but I actually want a task to be assigned to myself a week in or 2 weeks in or 3 weeks in. I have to call this person, or that I have to write them a handwritten note. And so we're really excited about the CRM features and some of the follow-up stuff and the follow-up plans we're going to be able to develop. And again, I think kind of leverage as a company some unique things in that realm. And so we're excited about that piece. Russ, I don't know, we're just finishing up kind of on the some of the other additional commissions Inc. Benefits. And so just because this kind of jumps into I'll talk about the next question here, which is how extensive will the default drip campaigns be? And the drip campaigns specifically with Commissions Inc. are pretty unique, and so their default drip campaigns are actually based off of disc profiles, which is kind of unique. So when the consumer signs up, they're asked a basic question or two. The system actually determines their disc style, and they actually have some follow-up drip cam based on that disc style. So as we know, a high I interacts with communication and marketing different than a high S or a high C, right? And so the other thing with kind of the default drip campaigns is we're going to be able to develop as a company some default drip campaigns and some default follow-up plans and release this to our agents. And so it's something we're definitely putting some thought process behind. And the other thing I think we're going to be able to do, which is unique, is we have a lot of experts in our company. We have a lot of coaches. We have a lot of individuals who can help other agents with their follow-up and be better at some of that stuff. And so I think we're going to be able to develop coach-specific follow-up plans and coach-specific drip campaigns. But that's kind of a thought for down the road. And so we're excited about some of that stuff as well. So just a quick note in here. Someone said something about text messaging. The system definitely has text message capability. It has individual text message capability and mass text message capability. One of the unique things that Commissions Inc. provides is you will actually have an individual phone number assigned to you. It's not assigned to a region. So you'll actually get your own phone number that's kind of routed through the Commissions Inc. system. We can assign that to you based on your area code, which is also very cool. And so the support team, when we roll out the platform, the plan is to have everyone's going to have a phone number already assigned to them. But if you need a phone number with a different area code, it's not uncommon for our agents to move and stick eXp Realty. We can change not only your MLSs and what MLS you're attached to, but we can also change things like the Commissions Inc. phone number that's associated with your site. So I think that's great. Russ, that's all I had on that one. If you want to jump to the next one. Open, I see here.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
So do you want to address a quick question in the chat there, Jeffrey? Or no?
Let me see here. Which one?
That's okay. That's okay. So what about, we heard some questions about dialer functionality. Where are we with that?
Absolutely. So the dialer is something, an auto dialer is something that we have a lot of agents kind of who utilize in their business. It's not a huge percentage of our agents, but there are some out there, right? Dialer gives you some additional functionality with being able to make a ton of phone calls and leave voicemails and things of that nature. And so we are exploring the dialer functionality, and we will be testing out the dialer functionality with our platform. But it's probably not going to be an immediate release, and if we do release it to our agents, it probably will be at an additional cost. And so we're still looking at exactly what that all entails. Again, part of the thing with building an enterprise solution and building a network of sites is we just don't quite know how it's all going to work together and break the rest of it. And so we're going to release the platform to all of our agents. There won't be an auto dialer release to everybody, but again, it's something we're going to explore and we're going to look into. We think we can do it. The developer, Commissions Inc. thinks that we can do it. And again, it'll probably deliver to agents, but it probably would be for an additional cost, just because there is some additional kind of technical stuff from Commissions Inc. Side of things, and then also from a support side of things. So that's where we're at with the dialer.
Yes, and if there's an additional cost, we will be pressing very hard for that cost to be less than you would pay any other place. So again, if there is a cost and if that functionality comes forward, there will be some economic benefit to doing it through the CINC platform. Jeff, talk to us about landing pages and squeeze pages.
Excellent, yeah, absolutely. And so landing pages and squeeze pages are something we get a ton of questions about in regards to the new rollout. And so first and foremost, I'll address landing pages will not be released in kind of the original rollout with Commissions Inc. or the Powered by CINC platform. Again, with just kind of the way that the network's being built, it's not as easy. We are exploring some solutions for our agents to we've got the ability as kind of as a company to create some landing pages, but we haven't figured out how to deliver that to the agents yet. And so we're exploring some possibilities to be able to have our agents tap into some of the corporate landing pages. But ultimately the answer is unfortunately no. I mean, so the agents will not immediately have the ability to do kind of customizable landing pages. And so I'm interested to hear everyone's feedback. I know that's a feature that we have a handful of agents that use a ton. I've seen some kind of A/B split tests in regards to landing pages versus just driving traffic to the IDX portion of a real estate website. That maybe suggests sometimes landing pages isn't always the best converter. And so again, we are solutions there, but individual agent sites with the Powered by CINC platform won't have customizable landing page functionality. The second part to that question is in regards to squeeze pages. And so squeeze pages is it's something that we've taught a ton of classes around. Squeeze pages have been an integral part of lead generation and knowing how well your marketing efforts are doing. And so there's what a squeeze page is, and kind of what we continue to reference to is the conversion squeeze page and their squeeze page builder. The term squeeze page is kind of funny because it's got some other connotations in kind of the internet lead generation world, but in the conversion sense, what a squeeze page builder is basically the ability to build or create a very specific list of homes, and then be able to track the results of those homes. And so you will absolutely be able to have the ability to create lead generating lists of homes. So you're going to be able to go in and pick, do a list of Scottsdale homes with pools, or a particular neighborhood of open houses. And we're working on the ability to be able to track the results of those. And so there's a couple different things we're looking at. And one of them is Commissions Inc. has a source functionality, which is very similar to hashtags and some of the tracking ability in conversion. We're also looking at and exploring with Commissions Inc. the ability to actually just install tracking code to the individual agent sites. If you've taken any of my Facebook advertising classes, or you do any kind of Google AdWords stuff yourself, you know, a big chunk of that is being able to install some separate code onto your agent site. And so, again, that's not the easiest thing with an enterprise solution, but it is something we're talking to them about. And so, essentially, there won't be a squeeze page builder, but that functionality is going to be easily replicated with the Commissions Inc. system, either between sources or tracking code. The ability to promote, the ability to promote kind of specific lists of homes that meet certain search criteria is something we all know that you guys utilize a ton, and we would never take that away or you know, work through a platform that doesn't have that. So that'll absolutely be a possibility. And I think what some of you guys will find too with Commissions Inc. search functionality is it's got some pretty unique things. And so you actually have the ability to pull up a map and use like a pen tool and draw around a particular neighborhood or a subdivision. And so we're not just limited to areas that get pulled in through your MLS. We can do some very, very specific searches. They've got a ton of unique filters, everything from pools to open houses to distressed properties to a ton of different options that not only can the consumer search by, but we'll be able to kind of create lists of homes and promote and generate leads off of.
Great overview of that, Jeff. And again, I'm going to reiterate the reason that we want you to, and we do want all of you to leverage and use internet lead generation and CRM technology is to close more transactions, and are absolutely committed every step of the way to deliver the technology and functionality that is most apt to get you down that path. We are all benefit. We have a singular goal, and that's more deals for all of you. So as we explore this, and the other thing is, Jeff pointed out, you know, people have asked for a comparison chart of sync functionality and conversion functionality. And first of all, we didn't do a deal with sync so we could copycat conversion. That was not ever a discussion. It was how do we provide a cutting edge improvement on lead generation technology and CRM. And the challenge with doing a feature by feature comparison is that they're two very, very in-depth platforms, two good platforms with different elements of functionality. And to do any sort of comparison chart, you'd have to start with what is the essential functionality of conversion and then try to compare it to sync. And I could probably ask every one of you to put the top 5 things in conversion that you feel most beneficial, and many of you would disagree on what those top 5 things are. So we haven't done it because the moment we do it, we sort of set what the top functionality of 2 different platforms are. And then, as Jeffrey mentioned, you know, conversion uses this thing called squeeze pages, but sync, you know, can deliver other functionality through a different process. So again, I love somebody who put in the comments a second ago, be patient, and we're trailblazers, and both those terms absolutely apply. Jeff, talk about domain transfer, domain names, using either converting sync or conversion to sync, or using both, or just staying with conversion. How does that process work?
There we go. If I could unmute my microphone. So with our current platform conversion, and with the new platform, the Powered by CINC marketing platform, as you guys know, your site will be held at kind of it's a subdomain of eXp Realty. And right now, most of you have your conversion site at your first name and last name .exprealty.com. A few agents have gone in and requested to change that to something else. But for the most of, for most of us, nerd.expertrealty.com, is your conversion subdomain. With the Powered by CINC platform, you're going to have the ability to actually not only change the subdomain yourself, but you're going to be able to kind of work that subdomain however you choose. And so when everyone's platform gets rolled out here at the end of the month, you're going to be issued a first initial last name subdomain, but then you're going to be able to change that. Have marketing currently out the conversion site, and if they decide to make Commissions Inc. their main platform, it's going to be as simple as changing their conversion subdomain to something different, and then changing their Commissions Inc. subdomain to what their conversion subdomain was previously. Again, first name, last name.expertrealty.com. And so the Commissions Inc. platform does have a lot of functionality that the agent will be able to do themselves without having to go to or email our support team. So things like changing your profile photo, updating your bio, changing your subdomain, things of that nature. Again, you're going to have the ability to do straight from your dashboard. And so we love our support team, but we also think that our agents, if they want to change their photo every single day or every single week, or they get a new award and they want to add it to their bio, that they should be able to kind of adjust that stuff on the fly. And so the subdomain is no different. And so again, the subdomains, and if anyone has any questions specifically around the subdomain and specifically around Commissions Inc. and they want to run Commissions Inc. and conversion simultaneously for a little while, we're happy to answer those. And we know that can get a little confusing. One thing I will recommend, and we're making sure to warn everybody, is only downside to changing your subdomain is if you currently have marketing pointed in that direction and you change your subdomain, right? The marketing might no longer be pointed there. And so we're working on some tools and some videos to kind of really make sure that that's crystal clear for all of our agents, but we're excited about that functionality. And so there's not going to be any issues with running both platforms or wanting one specific platform over the other.
Jeff, talk to us about the mobile app.
Excellent. So there's been a ton of questions about the mobile application, and there will absolutely be a mobile app associated with your Powered by CINC platform. And so the first and foremost, kind of the CRM functionality mobile app will absolutely be available from day one. And so you're going to be able to download an app and access your dashboard, your database, your leads from your phone, from your tablet, whatever you need to, through the CINC agent app. And so that's not an issue. And I've played around with it, and I tend to really love it. It's extremely user-friendly, extremely intuitive. It's just fun. It's just a great tool to have. The other question we've had is in regards to a consumer-facing app. And currently, Commissions Inc. has houses.net. And so we're working with them to deliver a consumer-facing mobile app specifically for our agents. And so that is something on the horizon, and it won't be with the immediate, but it's something that we know is important, right? You're just like we're on our phone all the time, and just like we're on our tablets, consumers are doing the same thing. And so we want to make sure that you guys are where the eyeballs are at and where your consumers are at. And so we're working really hard to make sure we deliver the consumer-facing app. It just won't be the way. That's one of the things we kind of have to smooth out some bumps with kind of the quote-unquote enterprise rollout. But we're excited to be able to release that as well. And so absolutely, our agents will have access to not only the CRM mobile application, but also eventually a consumer-facing mobile app as well. Oh, and then we lost Russ there again. And so we have about 10 minutes, guys. And so that was kind of the basic questions we had gotten in from the, let me make sure I haven't missed anything. So a few just kind of basic questions that we've seen. Do I need to opt into a Commissions Inc. account? No. Every agent will receive a Commissions Inc. account by the end of the month here. You'll just wake up one day and there'll be an email and it'll say, welcome to eXp Realty. And so your account is going to be set up automatically. And so we're excited about that. There will be some initial steps just for you guys to do, right? And so like uploading a profile photo, that way you appear nice and you have a profile photo for kind of the agent search. Things like ensuring your MLS is correct will be huge and will be important. Updating your contact info, but Commissions Inc. accounts will go out automatically. There's no need to opt in, and there's no need of anything. So that was a great question that we saw. We talked about drip campaigns. We talked about some of the differences. We'll be able to, we talked about buyer and seller leads. And so again, the Commissions Inc. platform not only can work buyer leads, it can work seller leads, and also has the ability, they've got a recruit lead function. So you're gonna be able to have drip campaigns for your recruiting efforts, have follow-up plans for your recruiting efforts. And so we're excited about that as well. That's kind of all the questions we have for planned questions, unless Russ, you had anything else. And if there's a few questions that come across the text chat, we've got another 5 to 8 minutes. And so
I sent one in, but it hasn't been answered yet.
Yeah. What was that question? My apologies.
That's right.
Can we do this? Can we do this? If you have a specific question that has not been answered, let's do this in kind of an orderly fashion. So if you can maybe walk your avatar down to the center aisle. There's no microphone there because you don't need it, but just so that we know who's asking the question, and we can have sort of an orderly process for people to ask their question. So if you have a question, just walk on down the aisle to the front and then line up there and we'll answer them one by one.
Should I go ahead?
Absolutely, sounds great.
Okay. If you request a WordPress site, currently it works with Conversion. Will it also work with Commissions Inc.?
Great question. So Commissions Inc., they do have some kind of, they do have some widgets available for other websites. And so there's still a little bit of testing we have to kind of on the back end on how exactly those will work in the enterprise solution, but I think we're hopeful. The thing is, the WordPress theme that we're currently delivering is built specifically for conversion. And so we're going to have to look at how do we tailor that to kind of optimize Commissions Inc. for the agents that want to take advantage of Commissions Inc. And so it's something we're working on. And so there's definitely going to be WordPress solutions. We're just not 100% sure what they look like. But again, Commissions Inc. does have kind of a search type widget, and we believe that'll work with the agent sites. We just kind of have to turn it all on. And
okay, so but not for the end of January, correct?
Potentially. Again, it's, and so with kind of the role, we're working on a ton of things in the background, but until we kind of flip over the main site, there's a few pieces of functionality we're just not quite sure how they're going to work. But so the option with WordPress, and part of the reason why we love WordPress and we've been talking about WordPress for 5-6 years, is it is extremely customizable. And so we've seen agents be able to tie in sites with less functionality than the Commissions Inc. into a WordPress site, whether it's just adding things to a header or a menu, or adding specific buttons and kind of driving traffic to various lists of homes or various neighborhoods or things of that nature. And so I guess my answer for you is I'm hopeful that we'll have something at the end of January with the immediate rollout. We're just not quite sure exactly what that looks like quite yet.
Thank you.
Of course. Anything else? If anyone else wants to kind of come up here, we can see. Welcome up. Yeah, what can I answer for you?
Yeah, quick question. How about transferring over our contacts and leads from conversion over to CINC? How's that going to work?
Excellent question. So you can always export, and at any point in time, you could export your leads from conversion. So if we're going to have agents that opt to do that and want to just move forward with Commissions Inc. because they like its functionality, and so you're going to be able just to email support@eXp Realty, and they're going to be able to download a CSV or an Excel file of your leads and deliver that to you. And one of the unique things with the Commissions Inc. platform is you can actually upload and import leads yourself. And so that's going to work really smoothly. It's something we've tested out. And so you have the import feature. You're going to be able to, kind of map it out like you would with any system: first name, last name, email. One of the unique things with Commissions Inc. is you can actually drop leads into specific stages of a pipeline, which I really like. And so if you've got leads that are, you've already sold stage of the pipeline, and so work really well. The Commissions Inc. platform as well connects with other kind of lead generation tools. They've got, and it does that really well. So if you get leads from another source, Trulia.com, Zillow.com, something along those lines, you're going to be able to kind of connect those two platforms and just have leads funnel in really well. And so the Commissions Inc. platform also has a few unique integrations. One of the ones I know we have a lot of agents that are excited about is BombBomb. And so you're going to actually be able to, if you have a BombBomb account, integrate that with your Powered by CINC platform and use BombBomb for some of your follow-up, which I'm excited to see how our agents take advantage of that. We free like 15-day trial, eXp Realty does with BombBomb, and so to get you guys that link, I know David Harper was talking about that in the private group a week or so ago. And so if you use that free trial, eXp Realty actually gets, we get the ability to kind of customize some templates and whatnot for BombBomb. So, but the lead import will work really well. You'll be able to import leads yourself, and exporting leads from conversion is just a simple email to our support team, and they can go in and export your leads for you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Of course.
Hey there, I'm relatively new to EXP and I just started using conversion a couple of weeks ago. Where can I go to see a demonstration of CINC?
Great question. So we haven't done any demos of Commissions Inc. at this point. And so here towards the end of the month, everyone's going to get an account, and we're going to have a ton of education and a ton of training videos at that point. Kind of talking about the functionality and the different tools associated with the Commissions Inc. Powered by CINC. So right now that's slated for January 31st, and so again that'll come with training and a training schedule and some live classes. We actually have a Commissions Inc. trainer that's going to come in at least once a month, probably much more frequent than that in the first couple months. I'm going to be doing a ton of live classes, and then we're going to have probably 15 to 20 lessons in the expressway. That way everyone can kind of hit the ground running.
Excellent, thank you.
My pleasure. Anything else, guys? We maybe have time for one more. If not, we can wrap up here. And again, I appreciate the dialogue, and appreciate the questions. And again, can't stress enough, feedback is going to be key. And so we're excited to roll out the platform. We're excited to get everyone's in on it and look for some feedback mechanisms from us. I think we're planning on doing at least a survey or two once everyone's had a couple weeks or kind of play around with both tools, to kind of see what they like and what they don't like, and what we can improve upon. So did I see someone else walking up for a question? All righty. Well,
I think we're, yeah. So Jeffrey, if I can just say one final thing here. First of all, two thank yous. Thank you to everybody here who's taken time to come and listen, because now you have a bunch of answers that maybe you didn't have before, and you can share them with all the people that weren't here. So thank you for spending time and your continued commitment to provide input and help us deliver the best tools and technology that you need to be the best in the industry. And then thanks to Jeffrey. Jeffrey is a shining star of the kind of commitment and dedication that we look for in people at EXP to be staff that helps you all. He's done an amazing job in this process. And if you feel inclined, he's on to Jim. You can email him. But thank yous go a long way. So I just want to say, from my perspective, Jeffrey, thank you for all you've done and what you will do, helping us evolve in this ever-evolving landscape of lead generation.
Well, thank you as always, Russ, for the kind words, and just to kind of echo that sentiment. We've got amazing staff that are always working kind of behind the scenes to kind of deliver a great agent experience for you guys. And so whether it's the support team or people working on the technical side or whatever that looks like, we've had all hands on deck. And again, we're excited about the new tool, and we're excited about the rollout, and excited to get feedback, and excited for you guys to agree with it, and new and better ways we can always improve our real estate business. And so appreciative of every one of you guys, and I'll see you guys here in the cloud.